In a world where the Spaniards of the Iberian Peninsula, lost at sea, collide with the indigenous Borícua of the island of Borikén. After a few decades, the first half Borícua, half Iberian is born, and Borikén changes forever. The faith of the Spanish clashes with the Taíno gods. The Arawak resist with every bit of their might to remain alive, so their own children can reign over the island of Borikén as true heirs to this land, the land of Borikén. A chosen warrior is born. This halfling is named Kachi, with a soul targeted way before he was born. He cannot understand the hardships that shakes his path. Can Kachi help restore balance within the island of Borikén so the Borícua Arawak lineage can survive? Kachi will meet key characters along the way that will help him shape the future of the island. The story of indigenous Puerto Ricans is inspired by real-life situations and the colonization of the island of Borikén by the Spanish and other Europeans. With a twist of magic, Native American shamanism, and other cool stuff such as passion and mastery of the human body, and other things that are particular to the indigenous Borícua, and seen in indigenous-inspired Puerto Rican culture, like language, vocabulary, and much more. Dive right in and find out what the fire of Amón means, and how one Taíno deity will play a key role to keep the Europeans at bay, and help Kachi ensure the indigenous Borícua lineage survives for centuries to come, and embrace all together a newly formed ethnicity that one day will form into a nation that will be in the center of the whole world. Introducing the indigenous-inspired Borícua story, The Fire of Amón. Now on Kindle for Amazon. Link in the description down below. Meet the characters. I am the writer of The Fire of Amón, and yours truly, ABAKETONEBORIKEJ, this channel. So, this is not a cartoon. My intention is this to be a real life movie or series with real people and actors. However, at this stage, AI generated images will help us visualize this story and make it come to life. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! This story and series has a few main characters. However, the primary one is Kachi, a half Arawak, half Iberian young man. This scene is him defending himself. Kachi is usually a happy young man that enjoys peace and tranquility. He is born very weak, but circumstances make him into a young and wise indigenous warrior. In the future, he will discover so much about himself. Very mysterious, and things that are so unsuspected. Spoiler alert. 3, 2, 1. Well, I keep giving spoilers. He is a chosen type of warrior And if you read the story, at least even in chapter 1, he will discover amazing things. In this story, Taíno gods come to life and interact with the characters in real time. And unlike normal humans, these are very powerful beings. Here's some of the main Taíno deities that are present. And here is an example. And you can see I modify the names. For instance, here you can see Coatris. Why not Coatriski? Because, spoiler alert, this character chose this name himself. So he's based off Coatriski, but spoiler alert, anyway, you have to read it. He chose Coatris, this name, himself. For obvious reasons, well, within the story. From here on, I will leave just the montage without too much of my narrative to not keep spoiling you guys. But I will keep on giving some interesting insight and story background and or some of the things that are behind the scenes. Here are Arawak characters with real life characters. For instance, this is the late Casiba Opil, very known in the public yet Native American, Native Caribbean, Taíno indigenous Arawak culture, and especially of Puerto Rico and its indigenous organizations. Rest in peace. Spanish characters. For instance, this is Bartolomé de las Casas, a real historical person. And this is a Spanish princess that will appear in chapter 2. Though she is mentioned in the end of this chapter 1, she is actually nicknamed Natalie and plays a vital role in the story. And she is actually based off a Puerto Rican public figure that I will disclose soon. And this story and series has other tropes just like this, where many known people around the world may have characters in the story inspired by them. This is part of Kachi's family. These are the chosen Guarinara warriors. Guarinara itself means warrior. These are some of the chosen Guarinara. And these are originally 12 chosen individuals. All I can say is they help balance the world, though they are not perfect. These are some of the antagonists. These are some of the actual villains. And these are some of the heroes or some of the good characters in this story. But things can happen and things can change. So it's not always black and white. These are people or Guarinara with Hupi powers. Hupi. They simply have the ability to turn partially or entirely into certain animals. Whether you say Upi, which it alludes to the spirit, Upi, such as Opia, or it can also be Hupi. These are all the general Guarinara. In this case, a Guarinara is not just a warrior. As I said, in this case, for this story, real Guarinara have abilities that are not normal for humans. Well, that's it for me, the characters for chapter 1 of The Fire of Amón. I think it's great I can share some of the world of The Fire of Amón with you guys, and that way you may kind of have an idea of what you are getting. Remember the Kindle for Amazon link in the description down below. Ebook ready for your acquisition. And also, you can also buy me a coffee in a link also down below. You can choose there how much you want to help and support, and you can even become an exclusive member right there. Thank you so much for watching, and thanks so much for your continued support. Wepa!